In this episode, we talk about BJP's electoral setback in Haryana and how it would impact the upcoming assembly elections of the state. We also give you an update about 9 people dying in a terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Riyasi district. But first, we talk about the demands that BJP's alliance partners have been making. Hi, I am Niharika Nanda, and you are listening to 3 Things, the Indian Express news show. Yesterday, Narendra Modi was sworn in as the Prime Minister for the 3rd consecutive term, becoming the only person to have done so after Jawaharlal Nehru.
मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा.
Now, although the NDA managed to come to power once again, the BJP fell short of securing a single party majority by 32 seats and had to rely on its alliance partners, the TDP and the JDU, to form the government. And what's important to note is that both of these alliance partners are pushing the BJP to fulfill some of their long-standing demands, one of which is to grant special status to their respective states. In this segment, my colleague Shashank Bhargav speaks to Indian Express's Deeptiman Tiwary about these demands.
Deeptiman, something that both the JDU and the TDP are demanding is a special status for their respective states, Bihar and Andhra Pradesh. Can you begin by talking about what exactly is a special status and what that does for a state?
See, actually the era of special status is over. It practically cannot be given to any state anymore. It was done away with in the 14th Finance Commission with the devolution of 42% of taxes to the state governments. But earlier, as it existed, because there was something called an excise and there were several strata of taxes. So there used to be this central assistance in the form of certain tax exemptions and certain central grants which used to be given to the states. States which were seen as geographically located in such areas where probably their industrialization was not possible because those would not be very attractive spaces for any industry to operate from, such as the hills, because transportation costs and availability of land and everything becomes difficult there, or very remote areas like the northeast or Jammu and Kashmir. So in that sense, special status was given to these areas, these states, so that they could develop with the same pace that the rest of India was developing, because they were unable to generate their own revenue, a great revenue, because of lack of industrialization. But that era is now over with a greater devolution of central taxes and state taxes, and with the advent of the GST, and 14th Finance Commission has done away with it.
And when it comes to the TDP, Chandrababu Naidu has made this demand in the past as well and has actually expressed it quite emotionally when asking the centre for it. But when we talk about the JDU, has it been demanding this status for a while now?
Yes, it has been. In fact, come to think of it, Nitish Kumar has been demanding this since 2014. So it's been 10 years he's been demanding special status for Bihar. Bihar, let's understand, is one of the least industrialized states in the country. It is one of the poorest states in the country in terms of per capita income. There is large-scale poverty in the state. And we all know that, beyond the first 5 years, there hasn't been much development in Bihar, because after delivering on the roads and power and law and order, for various reasons, one of them was, of course, political, but otherwise also, Bihar did not have the capital to actually infuse into the state to, spur its growth. And that is why Nitish Kumar has been demanding special status for Bihar for a long time. However, it is not possible. First, even earlier, this was denied because it was said that special status was reserved for remote areas and areas which are inaccessible for various reasons, difficult to industrialize and all. And so special status cannot be given to, a state which is in the plains, has access to all kinds of connectivity, and there is no geographical or topographical reason for its backwardness. So in that sense, it was denied, but now it is just constitutionally not possible.
Okay, so considering that special status has been done away with, tell us, what can these parties expect from the centre now? What can they hope to get?
See, what happens is that states under the constitution are not allowed to take external loans as the country takes from, say, Asian Development Bank or SoftBank or any other bank, that the center can take loans, but the states cannot take loans. So for capital infusion, states will have to depend upon the center. So in this kind of a scenario, probably what the states can get from the center is not a special status, but some kind of a special financial package where, there can be some subvention of the taxes that they have to pay, and the center probably borrowing on their behalf and taking some of the burden of the repayment. That is the best that can be worked out, because even central grants have very little space in the constitutional framework at the moment as far as taxation is concerned. So that is one way that some kind of financial package can be worked out for these states, and that is what they may be coming on camera and talking about special status, because that is something that their electorate, their voters, their people understand, but they know that special status is not possible and they're not even pushing for it as far as we know with the government. What they will be wanting the government to do is give them some sort of financial package through, the kind of backdoors that I just mentioned.
And you mentioned the reason why Nitish Kumar wants this for Bihar, considering the economic situation of the state. But tell us the reason why Naidu wants this for Andhra Pradesh.
Both states actually make the same argument. The Bihar says that following the bifurcation, all the industry went to Jharkhand, and so we were left with just agricultural land and poor people and laborers. Let's remember that not only its revenue sources are limited, but whatever little was there was also let go of by Nitish Kumar through prohibition. The liquor industry was generating somewhere around 4,000, 5,000 crores of revenue a year for the state. Now even that is gone. So to an extent, one could argue that Bihar is struggling financially more than it was before prohibition. So that is Bihar's argument. As far as Chandrababu Naidu is concerned, his state has been bifurcated far more recently. It has been just 10 years when the state was bifurcated, and its capital went to Telangana. As we all know, it is much of the industrialization takes place in and around the capital cities, and all the industries, all the investments, all the big, it was Chandrababu Naidu who made Hyderabad what it was. And at the end of the day, when it got split and he became a major player in Andhra Pradesh, he did not have the capital he built, literally. So he has to build a new capital city, which in his first term he tried to build in Amravati. The other major project that he has to complete is the Polavaram Dam, which is extremely essential and crucial for irrigation in Andhra Pradesh. It was because of, a delay in completion of these projects, which Naidu blamed on lack of assistance from the center, that he actually split from the NDA in 2018 and walked out, only to face a severe drubbing in the elections that followed. However, he's back at his best now, winning 16 out of 17 seats he contested in Lok Sabha polls in Andhra Pradesh. His government is back in power in the state, so he's on the ascendance, and now that the BJP has fallen short of majority, he can, with greater force, assert the kind of assistance that he needs. Let's remember, it's been 10 years since Andhra Pradesh was bifurcated, and Andhra Pradesh still does not have a capital city. TDP was trying to build it in Amravati. Then Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy came and said Amravati is a bad idea, so I will build it in Vizag, which is an existing city, but even he could not build the capital city there. So currently, Andhra Pradesh does not have a capital city, and the 10-year period for which Hyderabad was supposed to be the joint capital is also over. So literally, Andhra Pradesh is the only state in the country which does not have a capital city at all.
And Deeptiman, apart from this special status and economic assistance, both the TDP and JDU have, of course, demanded for cabinet berths as well. But talk about some of the other demands that have been put forth by these alliance partners, because when it comes to Nitish Kumar, for example, he has been demanding things from the BJP, especially when it comes to the Agnipath scheme and more assurance when it comes to the overall stability of this alliance.
Yes, of course, there will be certain issues on which the BJP will have to take a more accommodating approach with its allies, because it does not have the numbers to muster up. So the TDP can say that it will continue with its minority reservation in Andhra Pradesh, and BJP will not be able to say anything or do anything about it, even though throughout the election it has railed against any reservation for minorities, but now it will have to put up with it. Similarly, Agnipath was a scheme that PM Modi pushed very hard with his own personality, and The entire government pushed it, saying it is good for the country. But now they may be forced to review it or make some changes to it, because it has certainly generated some, at a time when the country is reeling under unemployment, it has generated some sort of disappointment with the government, especially among the youth. And this is something that the regional parties have communicated to the center in no uncertain terms. And because the BJP is not in a majority, it will have to accommodate these demands, whatever measure possible.
Right, and for those who may not know, Agnipath is basically a scheme for recruiting people into the Indian Armed Forces for personnel below officer ranks for a period of 4 years. And the thing is that after 4 years, only 25% of these recruits, these Agniveers, can join the services on a permanent commission. So the rest 75% end their service and do not get pensions post-retirement, which is something that a lot of young people had protested. In fact, that is one of the many reasons people say that BJP might have lost seats in states like UP, Rajasthan and Haryana.
See, one of the things in much of the Hindi heartland is that when you talk about jobs, people are actually looking at government jobs. By jobs, they mean government jobs. So one of the biggest recruiters in the country is the Indian Armed Forces, which is 11 lakh strong. And so, when you bring a scheme like this, people tend to think that, okay, one more, already PSUs are being disinvested, already so many government departments are cutting down on jobs. So one of the biggest recruiters, when it says that now we will only give you temporary jobs, so people obviously feel the pinch at a time when majority of Indian youth are struggling to find jobs for themselves. So obviously it has become an issue in many states, and people have voted on this along with several other factors which we know are there, one among them being inflation. And then there are several other caste factors, the fear of the constitution being changed, or many other things. But this has only added to the disappointment of the voters. Yes.
And next we talk about Haryana, which has held a lot of significance for the BJP. For example, in 2014, the party had won 7 out of 10 seats in the Lok Sabha polls, and in 2019, it managed to win all of them. But this changed this time when the seats were equally divided between the BJP and the Congress. Both won 5 seats each. Now, just a few months before the polls, in March, the state had witnessed some major political changes.
In March, the BJP took a decision to replace its Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar with Naib Singh Saini.
That's Indian Express's Varinder Bhatia, and we are talking to him about the possible reasons behind the results this time.
The BJP's move was seen as a party's aim to gather more OBC and SC, ST and Dalit vote bank in Haryana, which comprises around 20% of the total voter population. But this thing did not prove to the benefit of the party as it seems so after looking at the Lok Sabha results.
But during this time, the BJP snapped ties with Dushyant Chautala, the president and co-founder of JJP, and a few of its MLAs also resigned from the Vidhan Sabha.
So in the overall strength of the Haryana Vidhan Sabha, the BJP's number has reduced further and they are still not in the majority mark. Because of this, the leader of opposition, Bhupinder Singh Hooda, even Dushyant Chautala and Indian National Lok Dal's lone MLA Abhay Singh Chautala, all three have written to the Haryana governor seeking dissolution of the government and holding fresh elections. So the government is still going on and trying to get more numbers to retain majority so that the government can function for another couple of months before the model code of conduct will be imposed again in wake of the upcoming assembly elections.
And Varinder, after all of this, what were BJP's expectations going into the Lok Sabha polls?
BJP was definitely expecting to retain all 10 Lok Sabha seats. Their top leadership, including the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, several union ministers, Nitin Gadkari, Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah, several chief ministers, they very extensively campaigned. More than 24 rallies and roadshows were held by the BJP star campaigners. And BJP was very hopeful that they will win all 10 Lok Sabha seats in Haryana once again. But they could only manage to win 5.
And besides the political upheaval we talked about, what do we think are the reasons behind that?
There could be multiple reasons. From 2019, when the party had won 10 seats, till 2024, a lot of major events had taken place. Of course, one was about 13 months long farmer agitation, in which approximately 700 odd farmers died. And recently also, the last few months, the farmers from Punjab have been protesting at Punjab and Haryana's border in Shambhu, in Ambala. So they have been protesting and they wanted to go to Delhi to raise their demands of legal guarantee for the MSP. But Haryana did not allow them to enter into their jurisdiction. One farmer died due to bullet injuries. The probe is still going on. And a large section of farmers were definitely very angry with the BJP. Another issue took place about the women Olympian wrestlers who were protesting against the BJP's Member of Parliament, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. They protested for several weeks at Jantar Mantar in New Delhi and seeking justice, but they also did not get anything from there. They wanted to meet the Prime Minister. Nothing happened on that front also.
ने 2 दिन पहले सीपी पुलिस थाने में कंप्लेंट दी थी और 2 दिन हो गए हैं, अभी तक एफआईआर दर्ज नहीं की गई है। हमारी 7 लड़कियों ने कंप्लेंट की थी, जिसमें से एक लड़की माइनर है, पॉक्सो केस बनता है, लेकिन अभी तक कोई सुनवाई नहीं हुई, ना एफआईआर दर्ज हुई। तो बस मैं यही कहना चाहूँगी कि जल्दी से जल्दी जो एफआईआर हो और अक्यूज्ड को जो है वो जो जेन्युइन सजा है वो मिले। 2.5 महीने से ऊपर ही हो गए हमें वेट करते करते, और हमें पूरा यकीन था कि सरकार हमारा साथ देगी, लेकिन 2.5 महीने हो गए, रिपोर्ट सबमिट हुई है नहीं हुई है, उसमें क्या था क्या नहीं था अभी तक हमारे आगे नहीं आया है, और अभी थक हार के हम वापस आए हैं।
There was a lot of simmering anger against the BJP, and of course anti-incumbency was another major factor. Also the campaigns were very different between the BJP and Congress. While BJP was very heavily banking on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his policies, and they wanted to keep their campaign around the national issues. Contrary to that, the Congress raised all the localized issues. They raised the issue of farmer agitation. They raised the issue of women wrestlers. Besides, of course, raising the national issues regarding unemployment, the inflation, the corruption, and the law and order issues. So all those issues were raised by Congress, and the results went in favor of Congress party. Congress maintained its campaign around the local issues. Bhupinder Hooda, who was spearheading the Congress campaign throughout in Haryana, he kept on giving a comparison between his 10 years of tenure as Chief Minister and BJP's Manohar Lal Khattar's tenure as Chief Minister for approximately 9.5 years. So he kept on raising the issues of unemployment, the per capita income, the price rise, the deteriorating law and order, of course the MSP guarantee, which Congress announced that if Congress forms the government in the center, the Congress will definitely give a legal guarantee of MSP to the farmers. So all these factors worked in favor of Congress.
And Varinder, tell us, how do we see these results affecting the assembly elections in October? How will it change things for these parties?
The Lok Sabha results are definitely going to give a boost to Congress, and BJP will have to step up their game for the upcoming assembly polls, because if we talk about the vote share, BJP had got a vote share of approximately 58% in 2019 Lok Sabha polls. They have lost 12% of their vote share this time, and their vote share in 2024 Lok Sabha polls has come down to 46%. Congress, on the other hand, had got 28% of vote share in 2019 Lok Sabha polls, and their vote share has gone up by approximately 15%, and they have got around 43.16% this time. So definitely going to be a booster for Congress, and they will be raising the same issues in their campaign for the upcoming assembly polls as well.
And in the end, we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, where 9 pilgrims lost their lives and 33 others were injured when terrorists opened fire on a bus in the Riyasi district, causing the vehicle to plunge into a gorge. The Riyasi senior superintendent of police told Indian Express's Arun Sharma that they had received reports of militants lying in wait and they fired on the bus which had left Shivpuri and was on its way to Katra. The officer mentioned that while the people on the bus were not locals, their identities are yet to be confirmed. Locals told Arun Sharma that 3 passengers died from gunshot wounds and others in the crash, though officials said that this can only be confirmed after post-mortem examinations. The victims had visited a Lord Shiva shrine near Ransu and were on their way to Katra, which serves as a base camp for the pilgrims visiting the Mata Vaishno Devi shrine. Shortly after the incident, Union Home Minister Amit Shah stated that he had spoken to Lieutenant Governor and J&K DGP to inquire about the incident. He added that the perpetrators of this heinous attack would be brought to justice and would face the full force of the law. Meanwhile, Congress leader Rahul Gandhi said that the incident reflects the true picture of the worrying security situation in Jammu and Kashmir. Arun Sharma writes that this terror attack is the second such targeting of pilgrims in the district. In May 2022, 4 Vaishno Devi pilgrims were killed and 24 injured when a bus from Katra to Jammu caught fire due to a bomb planted by terrorists. Since 2021, 38 soldiers and 11 civilians have been killed in militant attacks in the Rajouri and Poonch districts. You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar and produced by Shashank Bhargav and me, Niharika Nanda. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it. Share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Audio and write to us at podcasts@indianexpress.com.